Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Hey and I believe in dragons. And welcome to this historical place. Very historical because in this place it has a large history from the war, World War II. And a lot of battle happened here. This is being called Camp Le Maquis, and this was a hiding place from the Germans. From the resistance were hiding here, away in the mountains, deep in the forests, away from those who want to attack them. And so now it's been a very historical place. Of course, in the end of the war, they found them here, hiding them, and it was, of course, ended up in a very harsh battle. So yeah. This is very interesting, by the way. I think if I go here to this place at night, I might see some activity because I feel energy here, a lot of energy that is really, really dark. So yeah, I want to talk to you. Yeah, actually, that has to do with it because they said to me, if the Dragon's Path was so well known, why did I never heard of it? Why in the past? Why, for example, during the war, everyone. No one actually believed in dragons. No one had a dragon sign by them, a dragon necklace or something like that, because dragons were not. They didn't believe in the dragons, did they? Of course. There was of something that something that you shouldn't do back in the day, especially during the war or even before that, was coming out for your real true belief. Something that you should not do, because the only good person back then was a Christian person, of course. If you were a good Christian, you were a good person. That was automatically the same thing back in the day. So, of course, I came to discover and came to also to realize once this war, then the people who were hiding here away in fear and that they had to flee away, fear out for dying and things like that. That there were people actually, and I came to learn this from feeling these energies, and that there were people that were not kissing a cross around their neck, but were saying to the dragon and hoping that the dragon was protecting them against those who wants to harm them. And there were always people who believed in dragons, always people who kneel down for dragons. It was universal. It was since the beginning of mankind that they believed in dragons and that they were worshipped, because early mankind did drawings of dragons. You can find it up, you can search it up. It will always have from very, very far away back in time, that people believed in dragons and that they saw them and even felt them as deities and gods. It only changed because of religions, because of power and money and wealth, but that is because they wanted to manipulate the societies here so that they can have it their way. Of course, we live in a Christian society, so that is why everything goes wrong. But back then, if you said that you believed in dragons and you saw them as gods and guardians, of course that was forbidden. It's just the same that you said back in the day that you were gay or something like that. You couldn't say that. It was not allowed to say something like this. So just the same as your beliefs, of course. Even now, to this day, once I came out what I was to my sister, I was trembling, I was nervous, I was in fear. And when I was on the radio, they mocked it. They mocked my spirituality. They mocked my beliefs. People from home that could call, they mocked it all the time. Should I be angry for that? Of course not, because I expected this, because they are raised in something like this. All of these times in the past, before this moment that we live in now, if you said to someone that you believed in dragons or something else, for example, if you still believe, for example, in the Egyptian ways, in Seth, in Anubis, and if you still kneel down for them, they would just react the same thing, even though it was always be worshipped. The Egyptian gods are always worshipped, and even to this day there are people who still believe this. And I have to admit that I came to find out that also in the Egyptian ways they also recognized the dragon in some of them their drawings, but I also recognized their spirits and that they are real, of course, but I'm not following this. But I can very much understand why some people feel this, because they are born with the Egyptian gods and guardians. You just cannot choose how you were born, and we are born with a dragon by our side, and they are born with the Egyptian ways, in the Egyptian energies that they believed in and still are by their side. And that is a gift, my brothers and sisters. If you even though they want to manipulate you, they want you to believe in what they have to say, and yet you are rejecting it because you believe and feel something completely different. And I came to also to believe that in these camps here there were people who believed in dragons, and that they prayed for the dragon to let themselves not be harmed by the Germans. I know for sure that this was a thing. This was for real. And it's such a shame that there are still people who are saying that the dragon's path is bad, or the Egyptian path is bad, or maybe the other spiritualities that they don't believe in anymore, such as the Greece gods, the Greek gods, or maybe the Norwegian gods, the Norse gods. I think that we are born with a god or guardian by your side, and we need to study this. We need to recognize this, and we need to discover it, how we are born. And the dragon was just so strong that I could not ignore it, and I did my best to ignore it, but I could not. Those who are born with an exceptional gift, such as gods and guardians by their side, they will feel it. They will feel it very much. And that is just the thing that happened back in the past. A lot of people rejected this because they feared how society would react, how this Christian society would react if you reject Christianity or another religion such as Islam. It's just the same thing. It's very tight and very something that you just... And that doesn't mean that it's really Christian, of course. I mean, I believe if Jesus saw this, I believe, I'm not sure, of course. I've never met the guy, but I think if he returns and if he sees how everything happens in his name, then I think he's very disappointed how they say what Christianity is, because in reality he wanted to revive an old spirituality. It's been discovered in the Vatican that this Jesus figure wanted to revive an old spirituality, not start a new one. And so, yeah, that is what I heard, of course. And people say, how do you feel when I say Jesus to you? Well, I think, yeah, he could do magic, he could change a lot of things, so I believe he's a witch. Yeah, and how they kill him, that must be a witch trial, of witch death, that I could say. And then they say, no, Jesus is not a witch. How can you say something like that? He did magic, he heard the gods, he was born in a way like I did. Born next to the gods and born next to the guardians. And he heard the voice, and so do I. He was all in white, I am all in black. That is true, by the way. He could be my brother in this. And then they say, of course, no. And I love this. I love how they freak out for something that they just realized that it could be true. No, but in Christianity that we live in now is more like how to shape everything, the power and money. And yeah, that is more how we, of course, rejecting how you are yourself. Your individuality, how you are, what you are, that you are a unique person, and that you should not walk in the line because they say so, but it's convenient for them, of course, and that is how they shape it, of course. But I couldn't, with the dragon by my side, I could not walk in the line. I always had this rebellion side of myself, and that was the dragon side. And that is this rebellion side that you have yourself, my brothers and sisters. This urge to be different, this urge to be other, not because you are searching for to be different. No, it's because you are led to be different, and you are born to be different. You are not, this is not your choice, this is just something that you accept and you just come across in your path. It's something that it's something that happens. So yeah, A lot of people think that a lot of people in this place, for example, in this camp, who are afraid that they always worshipped this God that they had to worship from society. But it's not true. Dragons has always been worshipped all the time in secret, because I was also not planning to tell this. I also know how it sounds, how I say to people that I believe in dragons. I know this very much, but I became brave one day and I said it to everyone. And now I'm so happy that I said it, that I can say with pride that I believe in dragons. And whenever there are people who believe in the Egyptian gods, of course I believe in them very, very much, that they feel them, because I have the same thing, but different gods and different guardians in them. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.